Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow, like, and share. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria. Let's jump right in. Hello, and thank you for joining us today for this episode of Her Version. The Her Version platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from listening to other people's stories. Today, I am speaking with an amazing woman named Dr. Shauli. Dr. Shauli is a global thought leader with a purposeful career in the educational space, spanning over 20 years. She has dedicated her life towards promotion of child-centric and activity-oriented education. She has seen firsthand the obstacles that need to be overcome in order to create learning experiences for children of all ages. Today, we will be talking about those challenges in order to educate others on the differences between different types of schools. Among many ceremonies, Dr. Shauli has been awarded for being among India's top 50 women leaders in the education industry and top 20 revolutionary education leaders by the Academic Council of ULektz. Welcome, Dr. Shauli. How are you?
Thank you so much, Sabrina, for this wonderful and warm introduction of yours. Yes, I'm doing well. In fact, I'm doing fantastic, I must say. I hope that you are doing well.
Yes. So I went to a school where the classes were like 50 minutes long, and then there's the break in between classes. My son went to a school, he's now 18, he graduated, called a block school, where they would have students sit for up to 2 hours on one subject. How do they do it at a STEAM school?
This is something which still happens in most of the schools, Sabrina. But maybe let me just give you the Indian context. Here, maybe it's not for 2 hours, it's also for 40 minutes.
Okay.
Or in some of the schools, it's also, 60 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
But the most common common thing that you can see in an Indian context, even in the international schools in India, it's 40 minutes, 45 minutes to the max.
Got it.
But then after we term it as periods. So after this 40 or 45 minutes period is over, generally we do not give children any kind of break, and the next teacher comes
Yeah.
to the class to teach a completely different subject or
Yeah.
a completely different thing, you know. So generally there are no breaks. So there are continuous 3 to 4 periods. Then there is a long break for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, a lunch break or something. And then again you have 3 periods at a stretch. So Sabrina, this has been going on for so many years.
Yeah.
The problem is there has not been any substantial change in the system, though we understand that this is not the way in which children learn to their optimum level.
So how
For
did
each
you
and
find
every
out?
child,
How did
yeah,
you find out about STEM schools? How did you find out first? Did you read a book or you heard? How did you find out about it?
this is a kind of an approach which is based on advanced educational principles and how children actually learn. So, in theory, it's very much there, but somebody has to be there who needs to initiate it and to practice it in the real sense of the term. So, when you ask me about the challenge, Sabrina, when I brought the system for the first time in West Bengal, so you can understand that that was a kind of a revolutionary concept because people had been so very used to
Yeah.
traditional ways of teaching and learning, and that too, it has worked for me. The concept is, it has, as a parent, it has worked for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing great in my life. So why does it need to change suddenly?
Yeah.
It's something like that. So the greatest challenge that I faced primarily was from the parent community. The
Really?
parents resisted it like anything. They never wanted the system to come. And they felt that maybe we were experimenting with their kids. You know.
Wow.
So that was the greatest resistance that I faced. And strangely enough, let me tell you, the second resistance came from a class of people whom we least expect that they would be resisting it. And it was from the teachers themselves.
Yeah. Wow.
We expect the teachers and the educators to be up to date and to be upgraded in all the recent innovative techniques of teaching,
Yeah.
but they were the ones in the system who had actually resisted, and they
Wow.
said that no, the system is not going to work. We have also been educated in a completely different fashion, and it has worked well with us, so
Yes.
why not the same system?
Yes. So who
So
did you
that
go
was the
to?
greatest challenge.
Did you go to the principal? Who did you sit down with?
No. So you know what I did? When people started doubting, and when people started resisting, and there was so much of opposition, so it never came to me as a very big surprise, first of all, because I was prepared for it. If it had not been like this, I would have been surprised. You know, if you are going to bring about any kind of transformational shift in the sphere of education, and you expect that there will be no resistance, no opposition, well, you just can't expect that to happen. So I was sort of prepared that resistance and oppositions will definitely be there. So I decided to work with freshers as teachers who never had any prior experience in teaching, who had a
Oh,
teaching certification,
okay.
but never had the teaching experience of, say, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years.
Okay.
And I call them as baggage rather than experience.
Okay.
So, 15 years and 20 years of teaching experience often acts as your baggage,
Okay.
which blocks you
Yeah.
and which stops you from trying out new things
Yeah.
or innovating with new techniques. It blocks you. So, I started, working with freshers who come with a blank slate of mind and
Yes.
who come with a very, very receptive mind,
Yeah. And they're
you know,
excited.
and they're excited
Yeah.
because this is completely something new. And at the same time, I spent so much time, with them, designing the curriculum and, discussing about a lot of issues and telling them that we may fail, you know. But then, if even if we fail, so that should also give us a boost to move ahead, because failures and risk taking, especially in the field of education, is very much stigmatized. So even a child cannot fail, even the educators cannot fail. I mean, this is the strangest, I would say, irony, where I especially always feel that failures and mistakes are essential ingredients of any learning experience. We also have failed a lot of times. We have made mistakes a lot of time in our personal lives. We have never been, perfect epitome of whatever.
Yeah.
So we have failed, we have stumbled, we have got up again, we looked back, we realized a lot of issues, and then we moved forward and moved ahead. That is how life happens. That is how we have evolved. That is how we have grown over time.
Yeah.
But then, if that is so very true, Sabrina, then why, as adults, as parents, and as educators, we sort of stigmatize failures and mistakes and penalize a child when the
Yeah.
child commits mistakes and fails?
Wow.
Why are we so very hard on them? These are just, little creatures, blooming with energy,
Yeah.
vibrance, and vitality.
Yeah.
So why are we being so hard on them?
Yeah.
Why can't we allow them to fail multiple times and learn from them?
Yeah.
We also have learned like that.
Yes.
So there has to be a kind of a system. I always felt there has to be a kind of a system which gives you enough leverage, enough freedom to take risks, to fail at times, to commit mistakes, and to learn from them.
I love that. I absolutely love that.